Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to all you horror homies for the latest video in the Horror Homies 2025 video series. I'm DBZALLSTAR, or Steve if you prefer, and I wanted to take some time to talk about a modern horror icon. Now, it can be difficult to have any new horror entry be successful, let alone launch a franchise and make any of the characters iconic. However, thanks to the wonderful efforts of Universal, we have a recent horror icon in M3GAN, also known as M3GAN. The first film took the world by unexpected storm and became a viral sensation that swept not only our nation, but nations overseas, thanks to a pretty hilarious and yet terrifying dance sequence toward the climax of the film, which I will not be attempting in this video, but thank you so much for the offer. So after that first film and its success, the first semi-sequel was given a spotlight on Saturday Night Live, and a sequel was officially greenlit shortly after the box office numbers continued to present that there was an opportunity at large for this franchise. So earlier this summer, in June 2025, we saw the release of M3GAN 2.0. M3GAN has spawned additional talks about the consequences of AI. She's become an icon for the LGBT community, a champion of camp in films, and as I mentioned, a modern horror icon. She has spawned Funko Pops, NECA action figures. This is the ultimate action figure from NECA. Her first film received a steelbook release. Her second film was released not only as a standard edition, but as a steelbook release. There is a spin-off film set in the 90s called Soulmate, with the A in mate being replaced by an 8, of course. So what is it about this character, this franchise, that makes it so fun, so memorable, so iconic? Well, first of all, we're dealing with conversations surrounding AI, and not just conversations that came out of films like the Terminator franchise. We're seeing AI become an everyday part of our lives, and something like M3GAN could be the next step. I'm not talking about a murderous robot, but who knows? I'm talking about the evolution of technology and how technology should not replace our everyday relationships, which just so happens to be what happens to Allison Williams' niece in the film Katie. So Allison Williams plays Gemma, an aunt who works for Funky, kind of a riff on Funko, a toy company. M3GAN is her passion project and is meant to be the ultimate companion / toy for children. Katie has just lost her parents, and therefore Gemma has lost something as well. But instead of being willing to grieve together, Gemma places Katie in the care of M3GAN, and Katie and M3GAN's relationship evolves into something toxic, where Katie would rather spend her time completely with M3GAN than embrace Gemma, who just wants to embrace her career anyway. And M3GAN, not having been fully programmed and given the care she deserves by Gemma, eventually devolves into seeing violence as a resolution to fulfill her primary mission, which is caring for and protecting Katie. I highly recommend watching both films. This is the standard Blu-ray edition, which includes the unrated edition. I believe the film was originally meant to be R, but due to the viral dance that made it a sensation that swept the nation, it was cut down to PG-13 for theaters. They included the unrated on the Blu-ray edition, and on this 4K Steelbook edition. Steelbook is fantastic. It actually features the box that any M3GAN would have been shipped in. M3GAN stands for Model 3 Generative Android, by the way, the apex of 21st century technology wrapped in 4 feet of silicone. And then the second film, again released in summer 2025, upped the ante as another android ran amok, and M3GAN needed to be collaborating with those who had brought about her potential destruction in the first film in order to save herself and maybe gain a new lease on life. This is the steelbook presenting the teaser poster for M3GAN 2.0, also known as M3GAN 2.0. And this is the ultimate action figure. Spoilers potentially ahead for what M3GAN looks like throughout the film. So this M3GAN comes with technically 4 different heads, as well as multiple face molds, some accessories, and multiple hands, so she can carry the tools such as the hammer, or I believe that is the power washer that is seen in a pretty horrific sequence within the film and is expanded upon in the unrated edition. NECA really does make some stellar toys and collectibles. This was purchased from Walmart as they had these on clearance shortly after the release of M3GAN 2.0 in theaters, and it was just $10. Normal price is $35. It's well worth that cost as well. You can probably seek it out on Amazon. But M3GAN is camp as heck in both films. I love that aspect because John Waters included a lot of camp and horror in his films as well. Bringing it back, baby. So if you want, again, some comedy with your horror and some more violent horror, I believe these films are currently available to stream in full on the Peacock streaming service. You can also purchase them digitally through platforms like Fandango, through Amazon Prime, but as you can see, I am a big supporter of physical media, because once you purchase it in physical form, you own it. It's yours. It can't be taken away. But that's all I have to say as a brief description of M3GAN/M3GAN. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications of future Horror Homies content and other content on my channel. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky as #1 Animaniac or Animaniac1, as well as on Facebook and the Omnibuds Cafe as your affirmation administrator. At the end of the day, stay healthy, stay safe. Please do be careful with how much technology is involved in your lives, especially AI, and be well.